Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. Now I am still here at Sun Motors BMW on the Carlisle Pike. I just did my review of the i4 M50 right there, but now we're gonna get into something way weirder and funkier. This is a 2022 BMW iX. Now this is BMW's first all-electric SUV. This will compete with the Tesla Model X, but this thing it's weird. I'm just gonna say it. Oh, that sounded really good. That was the X5M. But anyway, this has a 105 kilowatt hour battery pack. This has 520 horsepower. Now this is the xDrive 50. There is also an xDrive 60 that has 600 horsepower and 811 foot-pounds of torque. They just had one of those, but they sold it. But this is the sort of middle of the range iX. Now this just has a lot of funky stuff going on. We're gonna talk about how it's sort of controversial, but I'm liking what I am seeing so far just driving it around the parking lot here. So let's take a look at the BMW iX. Now where to begin? Now the styling I think is the most controversial part of this vehicle, and it all comes to do with just the front end styling here. Now I'm okay with the kidney grills being so big. Now they actually say that if these get scratched with the heat, as I don't know if you can see like the little coils that are in there, I wonder if the heat sort of heats up the material and sort of self-heals the grill right there, because this is completely flat. I'm okay with the design of it. It's just interesting. Now there's your front-facing camera right there. Now the M60, the top of the line, has a way different styling here, but this doesn't look bad. This is more subtle styling. I mean, this is an electric car. You don't need to have any crazy grills, but we're past that point. But this does have the BMW LED lights, and there's those sort of little dashes right there, which are the daytime running lights. Now let's see if this works right here. Yes, that is where you fill the windshield washer fluid. I mean, there's nothing, you cannot open this trunk at all, or this hood at all. There's nothing underneath there. All the battery packs are down low, but this is where you fill the windshield washer fluid. How cool is that? That's definitely an Easter egg. Now, I said in the video of the i4, all these electric cars now have the blue ring around the roundels right there, and that's a definite theme for BMW electric cars. But I mean, this really is a case of seeing it in person is really not as bad as when you see it in the pictures, because when you saw this in the pictures, you were like, holy shit, that is kind of ugly, but it's just different. Now, this car has, I will flash on the screen what the range is, but the range varies when you have the different size wheels. That is the same case for that car right there too. This has BMW's huge 21-inch Michelin rims and tires, and I think they look pretty good. It's not just being weird for the sake of being weird, which is what the door handles are definitely weird. But this is another sort of bone of contention too, if people talk about the styling. It's just, it flows, the windows flow back there, and it would have been nice to get a little Hofmeister kink right there, but this is sort of like a little black plastic thing that says iX right there, excuse me. But yeah, back end styling is definitely more reserved. Now this is what the future of BMW cars is going towards, these sort of hockey stick linear taillights right there, but it's not as bad in person as it is on the screen when you see pictures when these are revealed. And the interior is 1,000 times cooler than the exterior. I think this is it's a pretty big car. It's about the same size as the BMW X5, which is right over there. So it's not a small vehicle. This is pretty decently big. That is why this would compete with like a Tesla Model X. Here, let's just take a look at the charging door right here. Now this does have your level 2 capable charge. There's your AC and DC. Now I like those little buttons right there. You can just flip them open right there. So that is the charge point right there. So yeah, it's not as bad as what I see in pictures. It's just definitely weird and different, but I think I kind of like it. So let's take a look at the trunk. All right, so this is sort of a new look of the BMW key. The other one had the M colors on the sides. So we're just gonna click and hold the rear right there to open up the trunk of the iX. Now, one thing that my Audi has, and this has as well, if the taillights are complete on the trunk up there, you have to have a backup set of taillights in case you had to put the trunk up. So these are the taillights when you have the trunk up. Now you see this material right here. This is that carbon fiber reinforced plastic. That is a definitely strong material that the core of these electric cars are made. The i3 and the i8 definitely had this. Those are the first BMW electric or hybrid cars, the i3 and the i8. So now we have the iX and the i4 right there. So yeah, this is the trunk of the iX. It's decently big. Oh man, if you had a family, you could definitely fit all your stuff back here. There is your handle if you ever get stuck back here, because this fixed piece right there doesn't move. So if someone got trapped in there, they'd have to get out. But yeah, this is definitely interesting looking. The angle of the opening of the trunk right there is kind of interesting. But pretty much everything about this vehicle is interesting. You can put the seats down with these two buttons right here. I'm not going to do that, just that's how they go down. We can talk about that when you go in the interior. So now let's talk about the interior, which I really like. Before we go on the inside, this is one of the more unique door handles I think I've ever seen. It's like a hole, and you I want to open it back up. Open up, please. Yeah, you completely put your whole hand up in there, and there's a little button on the inside right there to go in the inside of the iX. Now let's turn down the music right here with that funky little dial right there. Before we go inside, there's the button to open and close the door. Now on the higher trims, there is actually a crystal shifter, and there is a crystal right here for the seat controls. Now this is exactly the same spec as that other car over there. That's Alpine white with the black Sensitech material, which is not leather. But first off, there's lots of really cool, features in here that I'm going to go over. Firstly, being the steering wheel. Just look at the shape of this wheel. It is definitely flat bottom and sort of angled, but I just drove this around the parking lot a little bit, and I like it. I think it is interesting and cool. Now, two other things that are the coolest things I've seen in a while. Now, as you can see, this has a huge panoramic roof, but if you press this button right there, watch, instantly it's going to change to open up. Now it's completely closed. If you hit the button, now you get a little bit more light in. But that is really cool because there is no sunshade up there at all. I mean, that is a massive piece of glass that is really on fire right now, but that is such a cool feature for the iX. I really like it. So now this is very similar to what was in the i4 that I just reviewed, but this is different here. Now this button right here controls your iDrive, and they have a version where this is like a wood paneling. So this is your volume right there. This is your shifter right there. You put your foot on the brake and you can go into drive. Actually, you have to hit the start button. So listen to the start noise that it makes. It's almost like an airplane taking off. So now this is how you control it. You go into drive, up into reverse. Now, I didn't mention this on the i4, but the cameras are pretty cool. Now, if you get whatever color your iX is, it will be the color on the screen right there. So you can see it is white in the car. This is Alpine white. Now look at that. That is really cool. You can see in real time what is on your right side and what is on your left side, and that is just a view all around. But this is just really, really cool. Panorama view, assist view. You can see a couple different things. Parking view. That was very cool. But yeah, this is definitely a solid camera setup. Now the main dash right in front of you has your, same as the i4, your power reserve on the right side, your speedometer on the left, and you can go through a couple different things on the main screen. You can go through your content, your layout, which you can change. Yeah, so you can see as it's changing as I go up and down. Oh, that's cool. That's like a little blade coming out of the side right there. Now this does have the your heads-up display. Now you can see the little flashing lights right there. They sort of are monitoring the person looking at the car. Actually, you can see me there. It's always making sure that you are paying attention. So now let's go back to layout. Let's go to the dual layout, and that one is more the sportiest layout, so let's keep that one. But yeah, this is really just a funky interior, and I really like, I can't show you, but there's a nice space for your phone right here, so you can have your phone right here. I really love that. I mean, these tiny little vents right here. You can put your hand completely up under this, but now I said before, there's like a little post right here to control or to keep the screen right there. Now this screen is just a huge, tilted to the driver piece of glass, and I really like it. I mean, everybody goes with the big screens, but this is definitely nice. Now, the M50 has some of like the gold trim, and that is on that blade right there. You have the Harman Kardon sound. I mean, this is just an interesting interior. These seats are very comfortable. I love the huge moonroof right there. Let's just make a little, I'm never gonna get sick of doing that. There's clouds and a light. Now it's gone. I almost wish like you could have another level that just let a little bit more light in. So on the screen, same as the i4, How's It Gonna Be is a great song, but you can go through different things. You can make the screen huge or the nav huge. Zoom in, do that. You can actually type on this button right here to put in a destination. 80s on 8, bunch of different tiles, which is a pretty standard view right there. But yeah, I like it a lot. Now this does have a range of something up to 320 miles, which is pretty decent. I know the bigger battery pack, the M60, has a lot more range, but yeah, this is interesting. All right, now we can go check out the back seat, but this is just interesting. You press your button right there to go out. So let's check out the back seat. Still the same door handle. Now this car is on sale for about $90,000, and that is a big price, but this definitely will compete with the Tesla Model X. Now on the back seat right here, you have a bunch of this little slider right here to put some accessories, to put something where you can hang up your suits. But yeah, there's your USB chargers right on the back of the seat. You've got a full screen of HVAC controls. These seats are definitely interesting. Yeah, there's a nice look at the big, huge screen, and that steering wheel is just something interesting. But yeah, nothing big to report back here. This is definitely big. Don't have the gull wing gimmicky doors like the Tesla Model X. This is decent space back here. You definitely could put your kids back here. Now, one thing I didn't mention up in the front, this car actually has a feature that's called radiant heating. Now in the winter, you obviously have your vents right there to spit out the heat, but there's some door panels and on the main panel here, which will emanate heat coming out. It's called radiant heat. I mean, if you live in somewhere like the Northeast or Minnesota or something that's freezing, that is a really cool feature, and I don't even quite really understand how that works, but that is just pretty cool. You have these same sort of buttons to open the door right there. So yeah, this is a quirky place to be, but I like it. I think BMW is they're not going conservative, they're going bold with the styling on the inside and the outside of this car, and I think it's kind of paying off. One last thing, I like how there's no hump back here. It's completely flat, and there's also a bunch of room in the front of the storage right there. I mean, you could fit a lot of stuff up here, plus the little cubby right there for your cup holders, and you can put your wallet down there. That is pretty cool. So nice engineering there. So now this is going to wrap up my quick walk around of BMW's first all-electric SUV. This is a 2022 BMW iX M50. This is the middle of the range trim. This car is a lot of money. This is $90,000, but it is funky and quirky and a little bit weird, but I like it. I would definitely pick this over a Tesla Model X. I mean, the build quality on the interior and the design of the interior it would be enough for me. I mean, those gull wing doors are gimmicky. Yes, they're cool, but this just sort of is funky and weird, and I like it. I like the direction that they're going. I just reviewed that i4 right there. That is essentially an electric M3 rival. So now we're gonna take this thing out on the road and see what it's like as a proper, family SUV, and see what that's like to drive. Now, if you are interested in a car like this, don't forget to check out my buddies right here at Sun Motors BMW on the Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg, PA. If you like videos like mine, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. We're gonna get this thing on the road now, so stay tuned for that video. Hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. See ya. Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. Now I am still here. I just did my review of the i4 M50 right there, but now we're gonna do something a little funkier, and there's a fire truck coming. Hope everybody's okay, but you're messing up my video here, bro. Come on. Take two.